Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, the honorable all of the committee, presenter, and participant. First of all, in this insightful session, allow me to thanks for this opportunity that has given to me to us to present the article with the title of Analysis of Student Cognitive Structure Using Flow Map Method in a Rate Operation by 8E Learning Cycle Model. And let me introduce the speaker and the other team. For the speaker of today's presentation is me, Rizky Sostewati SPD, and for the other team, there are Elma Suryani MPD and Dr. Ahmad Ridwan MSE. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to move on to the main presentation. Good afternoon, everyone. We are very delighted to be here at the important event, the fourth Science and Mathematics International Conference 2024. Well, I would like to present the result of our study. It's about analysis of students' cognitive structure using flow map method in a rate operation by 8A learning cycle model. I'm trying to make it as short as possible as the time given to us. So we are next to the presentation. First, there is an abstract of our study, and let me go on to the main presentation of PowerPoint. We are going to structure the presentation based on this outline. The first is introduction, the second is research methodology, and third, result and discussion, and the fourth is conclusion. For the introduction, educational success is review from the learning process that occur. To monitor the level of success, it can be seen from how far the development of student conceptual understanding posed by student at the beginning will make it easier to accept new concept and subsequent material and can determine learning success. To the presentation of learning success is closely related to the cognitive structure of student who has not developed well, and this is linear to the result of research by Zhou at 2015, which state that students who obtain learning outcome that are in accordance with the minimum complication criteria or who get high results are those who are experience better cognitive structure development. So what is the cognitive structure? Cognitive structure are often known as the thought patterns, mental devices, and mental structure. Cognitive structure can be defined as how individual organizing and connecting concept in his mind. Every individual have continued to develop their mindset or cognitive structure. This is because cognitive structure can influence the learning process. And also, an appropriating learning model will affect student interest in learning and understanding of concept. E-learning cycle is one of the appropriate learning models to help develop of student cognitive structure. This is because this learning model based on the principle of constructivism, where students are actively involved in the process of exploring and developing their knowledge, and then combining the initial knowledge they already have with new knowledge through their learning experiences. This model is also meaningful because this model facilitates students to solving their problems so that student can better understand the concept from their learning outcomes. And the method of this study is a flow map. Flow map is the most effective method for investigating student cognitive structure. This is because by using this method, the relationship between concept and the cognitive structure, whether sequential concept or related concept, can be clearly described. And for the rate of reaction material, the result of Iriani study state that students consider reaction rate of material to be one of the difficult chemical materials to understand because the rate of material involves a quite of mathematical equation and also several of sub concept are difficult and visuals because it is abstract concept. We are moving on to research methodology. This study are qualitative method. This method was chosen because it can make a deeper analysis of student cognitive structure on a rate of reaction material, and this research was conducted at Cawang Baru Senior High School and implemented during January until February for the academic year 2023 until 2024. This research was the subject of this research was 33 students in grade 11 Cawang Baru Senior High School. And for the data collection techniques, there are 6. First is a comprehension test instrument, aims to identify how students understand the concept. The test consists 5 descriptive question, and previously the question that will given is already qualitatively validated by a team, lecturer, and team of expert. Data collection number 2 is interview. Also, there is flow map, observation, reflective journal, and student worksheet. The data analysis technique used in the study consists of 3 activity flows, namely data reduction, data presentation, and drawing conclusion or data verification. In the study, data validity checking was used. Trustworthiness or trust is the same criterion as valid, or reliable in a quantitative research. According to the Google Lincoln in 1999, credibility is used to overcome the complexity of data that is not easily explained by the data source. The credibility used in the study is a prolonged engagement, member checking, persistent observation, and progressive subjectivity. We are moving to result and discussion. Before the research activity began, the researcher first conducted observation of learning activities on a weekdays in a school in order to determine the class conditions, student behavior, as well as the approaches, method, and learning model used by the teacher at that school. Furthermore, research was conducted using data collection techniques. This research was conducted for 3 weeks with the following within details, like a table number 1. Also, the teachers as researchers analyze student cognitive structure using method flow map in 2-stage learning cycle, namely the stage of elaborate and explain. Next, the cognitive structure analysis with method of flow map done with paying attention with the 6 cognitive structure variable based on psi and zo. Namely, first is extent, richness, integration, misconception, information retrieval rate, and the 6 or the last of cognitive structure variable is a flexibility. From the calculation of these 6 variables, the teacher can see whether the student experienced cognitive structure development after participating the learning activities with the 8E learning cycle model or not. We are moving to the result of implementation of learning creation rate material using 8A learning cycle models. First stage is engage. This stage is the initial stage of learning cycle 8E at the beginning of the introduction of material, the collection theory and reaction rate. The teacher provides a case study on a sexual interaction. Students are interested, and the result is student is interested on observing the case study given by the teacher regarding to the occurrence of the chemical reaction and collection theory, as well as its relationship to reaction rate. Like student number 4 give a positive response regarding the case of the study video provided. This is it is aligned with research according to the another study that engaged raise the student learning motivation because the material is linked to everyday life from the case study. We are next to the second stage of 8E learning cycle is the stage explore, to enable students to explore the initial knowledge related to the case study given at the stage. And the third stage is research. In this phase, student given opportunity to study knowledge from various learning resources. And the fourth is elaboration. This state participant opportunity develop has been learned and apply new knowledge. This state allows students to reflect on their knowledge so their understanding of material becomes better. And we are moving to the fifth of stage of it e-learning cycle, which is group learning. At this stage exchange, the researcher divided the student into 5 groups, and the number of students who join in one group consists of 7 people. The exchange aim to student to be able to discuss with the group members and exchange ideas to discuss the reaction rate being studied. Also, and then stage extend demand where students are given the opportunity to reflect on their understanding after conducting a group discussion. And then for the evaluate and the state teacher, also student clarify the concept being studied together. This stage is carried through the dialogue between the teacher and the student. Also, the explain stage is the final stage. At this stage, student convey their understanding of the reaction rate material after participating in the learning. Explain can train student to communication skill and self-confidence and in conveying their understanding in front of the teacher and friends. Also, we are moving to the analysis of student cognitive structure using flow map method. Cognitive structure analysis was carried out flow map, which is one the stage of elaboration and explained, then observed and calculated by paying attention of six cognitive structure variable according to psi, namely first extent, the total number of idea displayed in this flow map, and richness, a total arrow indicating recurrent association, and third is a misconception. There are many how many misunderstanding and that exists, and four is integration, proportion of repeated linked with the following formula. And the fifth is of information retrieval rate is represented by idea statement per second. And the last of cognitive structure variable is flexibility, the number of additional student ideas as a result of meta listening. But in this study, the meta listening replaced by the state of research, exchange, and evaluate. In general, the results studies show that most student cognitive structure are developing. Below, the data is cognitive structure of student class 11 of Chawang Baru High School as a whole in the material of reaction rate. Based on the graph above, it can be seen that the cognitive structure of student depicted in the flow map stage explain in all variable other than the misconception variable, the percentage is greater compared to the flow map in elaborate. This is because the student have passed the stage exchange, extend, and evaluation that the three stage above is the give a stimulus so the student structure, cognitive structure can develop well. Here are the result of calculation on each variable of cognitive structure on submaterial, collection, theory, and reaction rate. And here's are the example of flow map drawing by student number 5 at the stage of elaborate on collision theory and reaction rate submaterial. Also, we are moving to the conclusion of this study. Based on the result of this research and discussion, it was concluded that the cognitive structure of class 11 Chawang Baru Senior High School was developed based on the understanding and experiences using 8E learning cycle model. Cognitive structure analysis flow map, which is the stage elaboration explained, observed, and calculated by paying attention to the six cognitive structure. Then this is proof that 8E learning cycle model can help develop student cognitive structure. Dear all the participants and gentlemen, that's all we can share with you, the result of our study. And I hope it will be useful for us on teaching and lectures. Thank you very much.